What is going on? Welcome back. I'm Justin Rademacher, and in this video, I wanted to quickly kind of talk about the things that most business owners get wrong when they're setting up a professional Google Workspace. That's that at yourbusinessname.com domain. So I'm going to keep this one relatively short. This isn't going to be like a full podcast episode or anything like that. But if you don't know who I am, I'm Justin Rademacher, co-founder of Digital Anchor Media and Arborist Marketing Pros. We help businesses grow. More specifically, our tree company marketing agency helps tree businesses grow. So, um, if you are running a business and you're still using an at Gmail or an at Yahoo or an AOL email address, it's time to upgrade. It's time to get with the modern times. You want something that's going to look really professional, like a Justin at yourbusinessname.com. Today, I'm going to walk you through the basics of what it would be like to set up a Google Workspace and show you the number one mistake that business owners make when it comes to setting up their team's email addresses. So, the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need to purchase a domain that is your business name. So we'll use yourbusiness.com as the example. If you don't already own the domain, you are going to need to go ahead and purchase that domain. And the reason is today we're talking about Google Workspace as far as emails are concerned. That's my recommended path for most businesses, just because most people are familiar with the Gmail application and all the features and functionality that come along with it. And I think that the price is competitive. So you're going to need a domain name. You're going to need a Google Workspace account, and you're going to need at least one user or license to get started. In most cases, this is going to be you if you're the one that's going to set up the Google Business domain or the Google Business Workspace. Once you got that, Google Workspace is going to let you create that branded email. You'll have access to Gmail, Google Drive, Calendar, Sheets, Docs, all those things. And so it serves as a great place, especially for small businesses, to store some important documentation, is right in your shared Google Drive. Now, I'm going to talk about one thing before I jump into screen sharing and showing you what that dashboard looks like. The thing that most business owners, or at least one that's come up several times this past week with businesses that we represent from the marketing standpoint, is a misconception of the difference between a user account and a Google group, right? And so one might think, hey, I have a sales team, right? We'll use that example. And I want to create an email that is sales at yourcompany.com. And when that happens, there are three people on my team that I want to manage that email address. And so, what some people are doing, many people are doing, is they're going into Google Admin and they are creating a user that is sales team, first name sales, last name team. And then they're doing, sales at yourcompany.com. And then they're giving three different people the logins to that email address, right? And that sounds like an approach that doesn't sound like it's causing a lot of harm. However, depending on who you are as a business owner, what your goals are with the business, I know many business owners are building a business that they want to eventually be able to sell. And if you need to do that, then you'll have to understand that password security is going to be an important factor when it comes time to sell the business. So the fact that you have three people logging into the same email account, not only is it a security issue, but also it's just a frustration issue when it comes to things like multi-factor authentication, which is that SMS text messages that you're receiving to log into your account. Probably many of you that are watching this video have had that issue before. So I'm here to tell you that salesperson or sales team, and that's not the right approach. That is not a user. And the clearest that I can make it is that users in your Google Workspace are individuals. And so on our team, each employee has a specific user account in Google Workspace. We also do have distribution lists such as hello at digitalanchormedia.com or hello at arboristmarketingpros.com. We also have, support specific ones like help at digitalanchormedia.com. And so what happens with those is if you were to email hello, then everybody that is involved in the sales process on my team will get that email in basically a shared email inbox. That's what a Google group is. It's the same functionality as exist in Microsoft Outlook as distribution lists. So if you're familiar with Outlook and distribution list, it's the same thing in Google. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody and just kind of walk you through the back end of Google Workspace. By no means is this meant to be a comprehensive tutorial on Google Workspace. I really just wanted to make sure that everybody understands the core difference between a Google group and that you are not making that specific mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and let's share the admin console. All right, so this is the Google Admin Console, and surprise, surprise, the cost is going up. So that's the first time I'm seeing that. That's good. That's good news for me. I love that. Right here, when I go to admin.google.com, you can see that we only have 9 users in this instance of our Google Workspace. Keep in mind that we do have multiple brands, right? But the first thing that I'll talk about is under the users section, I can actually manage all the users. Now, ignore this, but you'll notice that these are all people, right? These are all people and they all have their own individual email addresses. Because I'm the admin, I should not know all of my team members' passwords. That's not something that I should be keeping track of, nor is that something that I really want to be keeping track of. Instead, when I create a user in Google Workspace, it's going to set up a temporary password. They're going to log in for the first time as your new employee, and they're going to basically set their own password. From there, if that person no longer works here, let's go ahead and pretend like Justin doesn't work here anymore. We can actually go ahead and reset his password manually by either clicking on his user account or right here from the right-hand side, just resetting his password. So that's one way that I can actually just sort of control my users without having to know their passwords. Again, I can see right down here, I can reset the password. I can update the user, add alternate emails. I can do a bunch of different things from the user account level. Now, time out, because another thing that's been coming up lately is, well, can't I just use an alternate email address? And yes, you can, but keep in mind that this should really be for things like maybe Justin also goes by Justin R, or maybe he also goes by J, or maybe you have multiple domains, right? I've got Digital Anchor Media, and in my case, I actually do have Arborist Marketing Pros. And so you can see where I can actually send emails from either one of these emails. They are an alias of my email address. That said, what I do not want to see in here is, well, he's on the support team, so let me go ahead and put support@digitalanchormedia.com. I'm not going to do that, right? Because now I don't have the ability to share that email with the rest of the support team unless Justin forwards it, and then it gets really, really messy. Instead, what I would want to do is to actually manage this through groups. So right under, and if you see on the left-hand side of my screen, right under users, I actually have groups. And if I click on that, I will be brought to the Google Groups section. Now, there's two different ways to do this. This is my least favorite way to do it, but it will work for the purposes of what we're talking about today. I can very simply see the groups that I have within my organization, because keep in mind, I am still admin, but I can also make modifications. So I can see that Hello at Digital Anchor Media has 3 members in it. And if I click on that group, my internet's going a little slow tonight. If I click on that group, I can see the direct members by simply clicking on them. And here are the 3 members of that group. So if you say hello at digitalanchormedia.com, these are the 3 email addresses that are going to get a copy of that email. Likewise, on my other group, I have support at Digital Anchor Media. And in this group, I have 4 people that will receive that email. Now, this makes a little bit more sense when I actually use my preferred, my actual preferred user interface for this, which I'll show you right here. Is I go to groups.google.com. And let me make sure that I'm sharing. And we're going to share my groups. All right. So this is a completely different domain. It's groups.google.com. And this is my preferred method of going here because I can actually see all of the email messages that have hit each one of these groups. So if you are a business owner that doesn't want to see all of the emails that go to your sales team, but still want to have access without having to log into somebody else's email, this is a great, great feature for you. Because what you can do is just simply click on hello, and you can see all of the messages that have hit that inbox, and you can see any responses that your team has made, right? Right from this email thread. There's a multitude of settings in here that you can actually set up that would include things such as a shared inbox, to where you would have the ability to essentially use this as a ticketing system. It's a low level ticketing system, but you could use it much like that, where I can take issues, I can assign issues to certain team members. There's a lot of functionality back in here. There's also a lot of security. So you can see that all these conversations are in the approved status. Now, Google has built-in spam protection. So if it fails for spam for whatever reason, it's going to go pending until a member, or rather an admin of the group, approves that message. So if you're not getting emails coming through and it's going to a Google group, you might want to come into the to the Google group and make sure that they're not sitting in the pending box. Awesome. So that is Google Groups in a nutshell, as well as Google Workspace. Um, Again, make sure that if you do have it set up in the manner of everybody sharing passwords, it is going to be a little bit of a challenge to unstick that and set it up the proper way, but it is an effort that is well worth your time. Not only is it more secure, not only is it going to make your onboarding and offboarding a little bit easier, but also it gives you a little bit more peace of mind as a business owner, and you're not having to pay that user account for each and every email address that you want to create. You can get really creative with the type of distribution list that you have in here. So if you have any questions, drop them into the comments, or you can just give us a call, shoot us an email, carrier pigeon, or you can send it to our Google group at hello@digitalanchormedia.com, hello@arborismarketingpros.com if you're one of my tree friends. Otherwise, I'm Justin Rademacher. Until the next time.